So first off, thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys taking the time. And really just want to start with something simple is, rethinking every text can be really exhausting. Not because texting is hard or anything, but because every message can feel like it matters when you're texting someone and you don't know, especially getting started early on with someone. You want to sound professional, you don't want to miss anything, but you don't want to say the wrong thing either. And so instead of responding quickly, you think about it and then you think about it again. And sometimes, I don't know about you guys, like sometimes I forget to respond to text messages just because I'm trying to get like the perfect message out. And so if you've ever opened your phone and felt behind, or maybe had a lot of text messages you haven't responded to, then basically this is what the webinar is about for you guys. And so, kind of talking about before, the real drain isn't like typing the message, it's deciding how you want to say it, when to say it, and whether it sounds right. And that decision, it happens dozens of times a day. Sometimes it's more simple or not, or especially as we start to get busy in real estate, which is there's the roller coaster of you're getting busy and then it's hard to respond, and then you're not so busy, it's easy to respond. And so, this is why communication, it can start to feel overwhelming, especially when you're good at your job, because you will get busier. You will get more and more people asking things and wanting responses from you. Um, and so, yeah, here's the shift that really has changed things for us. And of all I've hosted a couple different webinars before, and they've been about different strategies. This is probably one of the most like easily applicable things. And this shift changes everything. Like, what if you didn't have to decide what to say every time, right? Like, what if your best buyer or your seller messages, the ones that you already send, were kind of pre-written and applied well 90 to 95% of the time? And it kept the same tone, the same way you like to put together a message, same professionalism, but just gave you fewer decisions. And it's not about, I think there's definitely a careful balance to have between sounding automated and personal. And it's about giving your brain a break, especially when things get busy, because it's just hard to connect with everyone. And so I'm going to show you the simple shortcut system. And the nice thing about it is it's not a new software. If you have an iPhone or an Android, which I think covers 100% of phones out there, then you can set this up. And honestly, it's not a very complicated setup. Um, and so through this, you can turn your most common messages into short triggers. You type a few letters and the message will appear. And then from there, it's kind of like a draft. You can tweak it if you want and send it out. And the conversation, by allowing you to tweak it a little bit, it can stay human. And the effort for you and putting together the message or thinking about what to say, it just takes off that natural burden. And so the first thing people notice with this, like, isn't the speed, like realtors or loan officers when they start using text templates, it isn't the speed that they're getting out, but it's like the mental relief of like, I've communicated what I need to communicate, and that feeling, that overwhelming feeling of not responding to text messages, that burden over them, that they're not constantly worrying like, did I forget to follow up? So to make this practical, and what's funny is I have the short guide. I need to send you guys a better link, and I'm going to put it in the chat because this guide is good. And what it shows you, this guide is sending an old version. You guys can still see my screen, right? Or it says boost your efficiency at the top. I hope. Kelly, do you see this?
Yeah, we can see that.
Okay, perfect. The thing you scanned shows instructions on the QR code, but I'm going to send you guys this link, and I didn't let me see if I can share this. I'm going to put in the chat. I didn't have enough time to put that together right before this, but let me put this in the chat. This is the updated version. I don't know what kind of phones you guys are using. Hopefully, let me let me know if this link works. It should be better than the QR code I was just showing you because it has the tutorial videos.
Yep, the link works. Thanks.
Perfect. All right, so the tutorial videos will show you, depending on what kind of phone you have, how to set this up. And then in here, I have a bunch of different template texts that you can send, and maybe I'll try to make my screen a bit bigger. Initial contact. Hey, so and so. Thanks for reaching out. Love to help you find your dream home. Can we schedule a quick call to discuss exactly what you're looking for so we can start finding the perfect match right away? And then a lot of people have like a Calendly link, or if you don't use Calendly, if you use Google, Google recently put in like an appointment setter, which is very similar to Calendly. And so what you can do, really, your guys' homework will be to go over these things. But what you can do is name the shortcut at new buyer. And so when you're on your phone, if you type, if you're, let's say the person's name is, I don't know, we'll say Sarah, and you start a conversation with Sarah, and then the first thing you type is at new buyer, then this whole thing will populate with whatever link you've put in here. And then that way you can just communicate these things faster. So for example, for me, let me go to my YouTube channel. It's not, we don't, we're not killing it on YouTube, but our most popular video that we send, let's see, or I guess I should look at views. How to complete a loan application is a huge one. It's just a step-by-step video. And these are like practical things on my side. The other question I get quite a bit from people, and you guys probably see it all the time, I feel like my biggest role as like a loan officer is educating buyers on the local market. And the stats that I'm constantly looking at is seller concessions. That's like a term that people are not familiar with. And I'm constantly telling them about seller concessions and temporary rate buydowns. It can be a lot, especially different buyers require different levels of explanation. And whenever I'm working with like someone who is an accountant or an engineer, they love to see like the behind the scenes, how things work. And so me and my dad put together this video 3 years ago, but it's really comprehensive. It's 10 minutes long. And so I find myself using this all the time of I'll do at seller concession slash temporary rate buy down. And it'll just explain to people like, hey, here's an option that you could probably have if you were to get a seller concession. Here's some things you can apply it to. So that's a big one for me. Let me go back into here. So basically, I have a bunch of different template texts that I've seen have been pretty helpful for realtors. We got the buyers, new listing information, um, pre-approval, and pre-approval and depends which state you're in. I know, Steven, you do stuff in Utah, so pre-approval is like Arizona's equivalent to a pre-qualification.
Yeah, I
Um,
do Arizona and Utah.
Yeah. Kelly, are you just, well, I see Kelly Gentry AZ. There we go. So
Yeah, I'm
I
just
mean,
in Arizona. I've got
yeah,
all, not all my family. Most of my family is still in Arizona, but yeah, we've moved to, or Utah, I mean.
gotcha. So, I mean, you can change the name. So all these, I'm just trying to give you guys ideas, things to help you out. The more I play with social media and AI, the more I actually want to take out emojis because I feel like that makes it feel as if it was put together by AI, unless you naturally text with emojis, you can do that as well. And then yeah, we've got for sellers, um, just a bunch of really helpful tools to communicate things that you are probably communicating all the time throughout however you guys handle your process. So I just want to go through this and then I started to apply some more of these templates. I think there's 4 or 5 pages in here. So I don't want to burden you going through all the pages, but basically setting up shortcuts is a time saver. These videos will show you how to do it. And these templates are they're just templates, just ways to start, saving some time, things that I would recommend. And if it doesn't work for you, I'm not offended if you don't use it or anything like that. Um, and then I have we rub shoulders with a lot of different insurance guys, so I thought, why don't I show you guys how to set this up as well. So a happy birthday text, thank you text, stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. Let me go into here again, and I apologize. I'll update this, but you both got the link here, so I'll have to update this for people who watch the replay later. And then any questions? Does that all kind of make sense? I told you I was gonna be quick.
Yeah, that was great, Jordan. Definitely makes you
Awesome.
more efficient in your day, and I like the mental relief of having it done. I respond to all my clients within the hour, almost
Yeah,
instantly, right? And it's like they appreciate that, and it's a huge priority for me.
yeah,
That this just helps you do it while leveraging your time even more efficiently.
yeah, absolutely. What about you, Kelly? Any questions?
No, I definitely will go through that. And yeah, even, I mean, when when you're just on your iPhone and someone's calling and you can, hit on a
Yeah.
different comment that, is super efficient and great. So that is going to be definitely beneficial.
Yeah. Definitely the funny thing about our industry and real estate in general is it seems like we 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 want to be experts in our field and tout ourselves and all this stuff. A lot of times we already do all that training, but being consistent and communicating quickly, that's probably like 85% of the job, or like, the thing that people are looking for the most. And like lead generation, they talk about speed to lead and just communicating. So hopefully these help you guys out. Um, some people get really extreme and they make a ton. I'm not. I just, if I have to explain something and it's been like 10 times I've explained it, then that's like my cue of, okay, I need to just make this a shortcut in the future. But it seems like you guys get the concept. The only other thing is if you want, we can set up a one-on-one like 15-minute Zoom to go over it. Honestly, this one, the videos are really good, but I don't want to leave you hanging. I don't want to provide a tool and then not provide training to help you actually implement it. But again, of all the tools that I've talked about so far, I think this is my third or fourth webinar. This one's probably the most easily applicable and the one that would probably be used more often in your day than some of the other tools. Um, yeah, and then I don't know. Let's see what else I got on here. I think that's, and then I do have a Facebook group. I think both of you might be in it. I call it Real Estate Growth Tools. And right now, I'll be honest, it's a work in progress, but basically I'm gonna put all of my trainings in there in the future. And if you guys work with I know a lot of realtors, they'll have their company will do a training or whatever. And so if your company wants help training or for me to come in person or whatever, I'm happy to do that as well and see if I can help, just my whole thing is I want to help more realtors and help them grow. And I'm constantly trying to learn about AI and tools to help me. And I think if it can apply to me, then a lot of times it can apply to realtors. And so I'll continue to do these trainings and webinars, and I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, appreciate you guys coming to this webinar, and I hope it was helpful and useful for you guys. And yeah, if you ever